police, and nobody knows how it will turn out. Spread the word. For de-escalation to work, both parties must de-escalate, and de-escalation isn't necessary if there is no escalation. Help police by not escalating. Don't attack or try to disarm an officer, whether it's getting asked a question, getting a citation, or getting arrested. Don't argue. Don't resist. Don't.
First set of bangers of the year. What better way to pay homage than by using the greatest band of the 20th century, Greene, the original set of bangers. It's been a while. Where should we begin? Feels like forever. We're going back to an old friend. The Liberty Flames are a 3.5-point favorite at Southern Miss, and that's ridiculous. Southern Miss couldn't play a tree and a child's play. They're horrible. And even though Liberty doesn't have Malik Willis anymore, they do have Charlie Brewer. High-level veteran quarterback, enough to cover the number. Flames minus 3.5. Within my heart are memories of perfect love that you gave to me. Oh, I remember. The Arkansas Razorbacks are a 6.5-point favorite against the Cincinnati Bearcats, and it makes no sense. Arkansas was a year ahead of schedule. Cincinnati's rebuilding with two quarterbacks whose name I can't even remember. Easy. Hawk Pig Suey minus 6.5. Next, Oregon State's a 2.5-point favorite against Boise State. Boise State is much better in name than they are in practice. Their offensive line couldn't block traffic with 40 road coats. Give me the Beavers minus 2.5. Appalachian State's a 1.5-point favorite against North Carolina. Potentially no Josh Downs, potentially no Tony Grimes. That's enough for me. Mountaineers let me down last night. They're not letting me down tomorrow. App State minus 1.5. San Diego State is a 6-point favorite against Arizona. Let me say it again. Arizona is a 6-point dog against a living, breathing, conscious team, and that makes no sense. San Diego State minus 6.5. We've seen our share of ups and downs. Oh, how quickly life can turn around in an instant. Georgia Bulldogs, you were my last loss of the college football season last year. You're not getting me again. 17-point favorite against Oregon. That's not enough. No Mario Cristobal. They may look the same, but this is not Oregon that you're used to. Georgia minus 17. Ohio State also a 17.
Late season return. He got hurt playing for the Italian national team last week.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Take me home, country road. Oh, how did you feel last night, Jeremy Greene?
If you were around me, I am sorry for the things that I said when I was mad.
Yeah, about that. Last night, college football kicked off, and tonight we got more games, and we've got a whole slew of action tomorrow in college football, Sunday and Monday. It's just a college football bonanza.
It's an extravaganza.
It's so great that it is finally here. We are in the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles Studio. As always, here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And you can see us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get in on the chat with us, and don't forget to follow the link in the description of the video so you can get in on our fantasy football competition, be Beer City's best fantasy football player of 2022, and be the Sportsocracy's fantasy football expert for the entire season of 2023. Get a championship belt custom made with the Sportsocracy logo and all of our lovely sponsors as well.
It is a fantastic belt.
And you can get over $1,000 in prizes if you are the winner of Beer City's fantasy football championship here in the Sportsocracy. Just follow that link through, give a $20 donation to Eblin Charity St. Nicholas Project, and you could be the winner.
You know who wasn't a winner?
West Virginia.
Bryce Ford Wheaton. You did so much right, and then you boo-boo kittied every bit of it at the very end. When a ball hits you in the eye holes, you should probably catch it.
Yeah.
And when you don't, and it bounces off of you, you should probably make some effort to tackle the guy that caught it.
I mean, it's not like you shouldn't have expected something like that to happen, because the portions of the game that I watched live, because I fell asleep about the third quarter, got everything caught up after this morning when I woke up. But he didn't. I mean, there were a couple of plays where he didn't catch the ball when he should have. JT Daniels was good. I'm not going to say he was great, but he was good.
Yeah, you and I watched a different game.
Really?
He was in large part. I mean, there were definitely moments. But I will tell you this, that Pittsburgh team's pretty good.
Of course they are.
Because they couldn't run to save their lives last night and still found a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what good teams do.
Mm-hmm.
Pains me to say nice things, but I must.
Well,
And next week, banger. Them in Tennessee, I'm not telling you that's the best game of next week. It's certainly one that bears paying attention to.
Pittsburgh and Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. In Pittsburgh, so that's a good old good one right there.
Could be a whole lot of fun. Yeah, last night, the pick six at the end of the game, bouncing off of the wide receiver's hands. JT Daniels threw it on the money, and the guy couldn't catch it.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, so it's really hard to.
He did, but I feel like he could have had 3. There was one in the first quarter that just went through his hands as well.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he had a nice statistical night. But I'll be really honest with you. Last night was a good night of football.
It was. Pittsburgh, West Virginia going down to the wire. You had Penn State and Purdue.
The first puke six. That's a new one.
That was a good one.
That's a new one. I've never actually seen that before. Reversal of fortune after an interception. That poor kid will be known for that for the rest of his life.
Yep, more than likely. Hey, maybe he can parlay it into a career like Darren Drozdoff did.
There'll probably be an NIL deal out of it real soon. Do you have any sweeping takeaways from Purdue Penn State?
From Purdue Penn State?
Because I did.
I mean, Penn State's pretty good.
Penn State's better than people thought.
But I still feel like Sean Clifford can win you those games, not necessarily win you the big games.
To be honest with you, I was impressed offensively with both.
Were you?
I was. I think that's 2 teams that are going to be a headache. And Sean Clifford was fantastic last night. I'll be honest with you, when Purdue scored with, 2 minutes to go, 2.5 minutes to go?
Something like that.
I thought it was over.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shot you're marching down the field and scoring on them, and he did.
8 plays, 80 yards, and Sean Clifford finding the running back on the wheel route.
Oh, it was 8:29. I missed that by that was after the fury and anger that came out of Pittsburgh.
I was going to say, did you finish off one of those half gallons last night that you were telling me about?
A, what are you, a cop? And B, again, I apologize if you were around me for what I said when I was angry.
It was just great to have football back and to have it on every channel. The way I have my TV set up at home through DC Streams, I have all of my favorite channels right there. I can just click up and down and go through all the favorites. And I was bouncing around to every game. I watched some of Missouri and Louisiana Tech. For what reason, I don't know. It was football. Who cares? It's the only time that you're going to get to see the Missouri Tigers dominate anybody on a football field.
That was not a great one for me.
No. Tennessee.
They
look pretty good.
Yeah, you remember that thing I said of they may cover that in the first half?
Yep. Look, I get that they were playing Ball State, but I will say this. That Hendon Hooker-led offense, they are going to score a boatload of points this year.
They are. That Tennessee team's actually really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my first thought last night was you now immediately have to circle Tennessee-Pittsburgh next week. It's one of the best games of the week, too.
Yes. Mark it on your calendars as well. Tank said something nice about UT football.
Let's see if that carries through another week. And now we've got a whole slate. Top 5 matchup in week 1. I didn't know this until earlier on today. There have only been a handful of times in the history of college football that a team has ever been as big a dog as Notre Dame is as a top 5 program. I think this is the 7th time.
You don't normally see a top 5 team be a 17-point dog.
This is, I believe, the 7th time it's happened. The underdog covered the number in 5 of the previous 6.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that that's necessarily what way I'm going to go later in a special Creed-themed version of Jeremy's Bangers.
I feel like you've undersold Notre Dame this whole offseason. I mean, you've said that they're overrated and that they're not going to be as good as people think. They're not a championship contender. But Marcus Freeman is a hell of a coach. The defense is still going to be really good. Not saying that they're going to be able to shut down Ohio State because nobody can really do that. But to me, a 17-point spread seems like a lot.
Nah, I don't know about that. It seems pretty accurate to me.
Okay. All right. I mean, you just don't think Notre Dame has the stars on the defensive side?
Last night was proof positive. College football is a very, very, very simple sport. Do you have a quarterback, yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State does. Notre Dame doesn't. End of message. Repeat the line.
They just don't have one at all?
Their quarterback's 5'11", was a $190.
Okay.
And now you're going up against Ohio State. New defensive coordinator, new attitude, stacked defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And you're throwing out Rudy. Good for you. I'm sure this will go tremendously well.
And you think they will just get frog stomped tomorrow?
That's probably the nicest way you could say it. Boat raced is what is, I believe, the term that I used.
Boat raced. You're predicting a couple of big lopsided games amongst ranked teams tomorrow because you've also got Georgia against Oregon. You have said to me that Georgia will win by 50.
They couldn't have set that line high enough. All right, let me rephrase it. They could have. They wouldn't.
They could have.
I mean, they could have set it at 47, and then I would have gone, maybe I'll take Oregon now. This is one week. I'm telling you right now, this was the hardest week to find dogs. I have a few. Do not worry your pretty little heads about that. We got 18 of your college football betting picks that will be released across this show.
18 of them.
And one over-under. I don't do over-unders much in college football.
You don't?
There is one. Okay. There is one this week that is just tempting. 2 teams that couldn't play dead in the Western defensively, and that number is not nearly high enough.
Mm-hmm. Green on green, the 5 on it, and, of course, the always popular finale of Jeremy losing his mind giving picks coming up at the end of each hour of the program. Today, yes, college football is back. I enjoyed every second of it last night. Because it's like the dawning of a new age. Like you remember all of the guys that you watched last year. You go like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy. He's really good." Or
I have literally never done that.
You've never done that?
But then again, I don't stop watching these guys. So as soon as the season ends, I just start watching guys for next year.
True.
Now, this is the first new tape that I've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody I saw last night that it was good to see, Muhammad Ibrahim, Minnesota. I mean, yeah, they started off with New Mexico State, who I'm pretty sure they could have allowed to play 17 players, and I'm not sure that they would have ever scored.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't cross the 50. They didn't. Let me say it again. They did not cross the 50-yard line. That's hard to do.
But it's New Mexico State.
I don't care who it is.
I mean, they've been one of the worst teams in all of college football for the last 4 years.
One of the greatest stats you will ever see. 60-minute game, 15-minute quarters. How many yards did New Mexico State have? That's 6 first downs.
72.
You're too low, but not by much. 91.
91.
That's 91 yards in a 60-minute ball game. They possessed the ball for 15 minutes.
They're awful. They're absolutely awful.
For
Part of
me,
me thinks
it was funny to
Minnesota
watch.
should have won that game by more than 38 points.
I'll be really honest with you, that was one of the things that surprised me that they didn't.
Right.
That was an entire college football game. They had 26 passes the entire game. Yikes.
When you don't need to air it out, why would you? You don't need to. Just keep running the football, bleeding the clock. It's a mercy killing.
In our
Exactly what it is.
YouTube comments, the reprehensibles are asking for something that I feel like it is my responsibility to give, which is a parlay. We'll have that later in this here program as well.
All right. R.I.P. parlays.
Parlays are tough, but there's some. To me, there are a few games this week. There's one tonight. If I'm wrong about this, I'm going to level with you. I'm not going to go as far as to say I'll do the show in a chicken suit, or I'll eat my hat. I'll do something aggressive if I'm not right tonight.
Okay.
That might be the worst line you see all year long. I'll give that one to you at the end of the hour.
There you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. College football is back. More up next.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. You got that bag. You got that Biggie Bag. You got that bag. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs, too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes! Loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Oh, we got breaking news on a Friday in the college football kickoff weekend. So something big happened in college football. The board of managers for the college football playoff, they were meeting today, and apparently it is decided.
It is decided.
Pete Thamel reporting before everyone else. Sources say that the CFP Board of Managers has decided on a 12-team college football playoff during today's meeting. He follows it up with the 12-team model is expected to start in 2026 after the current contract, according to the source. There's still a chance that it could go earlier, but those details are complicated and would take some time to work out. One of the main drivers of the college football playoff expansion was money. Presidents felt as if they were leaving too much of it on the table. Monday could end up being a powerful motivator for starting prior to 2026.
No kidding.
No.
You think you're leaving money on the table? Who would have thunk it? I'm going to be honest. I hate this format already.
Why?
Do you know who would have made the playoff last year?
I don't care.
Pittsburgh was one of them. Stop.
Give me Kenny Pickett on the national stage for a chance to advance in the college football playoff tournament.
Last year you would have had Georgia as the SEC champion.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan is the Big Ten champion.
Well, no, Alabama was the SEC champion.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They won the one that didn't really matter.
Exactly.
Georgia won the one that did. So Georgia would have been at large.
Yes.
Should have Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati, Baylor, Pittsburgh, and, Pac-12. Oh, good gracious. Well, it was Utah. Okay. I always forget Utah's in the Pac-12.
You got the 6 highest-ranked conference champions and 6 at-larges to make up the 12-team field. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's better than what it was.
And
I'm not going to say it's perfect,
and
but it's
here
better
we
than what it was.
go on to 16. Now we can start those discussions.
I don't know that you'll ever get there.
They might.
The 16 would be gross.
I said we'd never get to 8. I thought after they went to 4, they'd never get to 8. 8 eventually.
Well, they skipped 8.
They skipped 8, went straight to 12, which could happen in 2024. Those are the talks, or the rumors are that there's an expectation that this will kick in 2024.
So you'll have 2 more 4-team playoffs this year, next.
Yes.
And then we go to 12.
Yes.
And I think 12's the end. You said you never thought they'd get to 8. I'm dumbfounded it took this long to get to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want, in the YouTube chats, there's been several references to RIP parlays, RIP bowl games. If you think they were irrelevant before, shoo buddy. The Meineke Car Care Bowl. Yikes. They might be playing student managers by the time those games are over. But this is what we wanted.
Now they'll still play.
They'll play, but no one will care.
Well, I mean, the same people that care now will care then. The same people that you follow your team. Your team's not going to be in the 12-team playoff. You're going to the Meineke Car Care Bowl. The Tar Heel fans will care.
Oh, I'm so excited. I don't love the format.
Why?
And the reason that I don't think we'll get to 16, you're not getting to 16 without letting in 3 more group of 5 conference champions.
That's true.
You'll get very Utah Statey before it's all said and done. I'm good. I don't want to go that deep.
I don't know that we need to do that. But the fact that we are going to have a 12-team playoff, I don't care if it's 2026 or it's 2024.
Oh, it's 24.
Oh, I know. Look,
the fact that they even put it out as 26 is kind of comical to me.
Well, because that's how they had to do it. The plan is to do it after the current contract runs out, but we all know that things change. What was this, a medium-sized story earlier this week was the Big 12 is now renegotiating with Fox and ESPN for their TV deal. One of the little things to come out of that is now that they're renegotiating the TV deal, and if they can get that done early, if they can get it done this year, guess what that opens the door to?
Oklahoma and Texas being in the SEC next year.
Bingo. And what did we tell you when that happened?
Yeah, this is not lasting that long.
It's not going to be 2024. They will do
because
this
it doesn't
as soon
benefit
as possible.
anybody.
No, it doesn't. It does not. And the same thing with the college football playoff expansion. It doesn't benefit anything to have it in 2026. We want an expanded playoff now. Maybe we can't do it now. It would be too much to do it immediately. So we're going to give it to you 2 years from now.
The one caveat that I have not seen, and I'm not going to tell you this is not in it, I've heard this was a huge sticking point. How many teams can each conference get? The Big 12 and the Pac-12, and maybe the ACC. Mm-hmm. They seem to be in lockstep with each other pretty much through this entire process.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted there to be a cap.
They were the ones that voted against it in the last meeting.
Yeah, and then everybody went, hey, you're going to have to get on board with this. Because if you don't, you're not going to exist anymore.
Right, and I'm sure they got the assurances that they wanted. They were concerned, are we going to be left out of this because we're the weaker conferences? No, we'll let you in. We'll let you in and serve you up as the sacrificial lambs to the SEC.
The funny part of this to me is that the three that voted it down are the biggest winners. Unequivocally, you're the biggest winners.
Oh, yeah, because you're...
because now you're going to continue to exist. This thought that, the ACC's doomed now. That went out the window. Because if you're Clemson, why in the world would I go to the Big Ten? Why in the world would I go to the SEC? I get a free berth in this playoff every single year. Because even if I don't win the conference, I'm going to finish in the top 12.
Yeah, but you also have the money. The money's going to be a big factor.
Being in that playoff will make up the money. Now, it won't make it up for everybody in the conference. It'll make it up for us.
Being in the playoff will be enough to make up the money that you're not going to get by being a part of that $7 billion TV contract or whatever it is.
Well, you got to remember, that's split amongst 14 teams in the ACC. Everything I've heard, the prognostications on what this will do for the schools that make it, $750 million per year split between the 12 schools.
Okay.
That's why there's not going to be a cap, because the SEC went, the only way we're going to agree to this is we're going to have 3 every year, and we'll have 4 some years.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the conference allocation, and you'll get the team allocation.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just get fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter.
Right. I don't really care about letting in more teams because I still feel like we're going to end up with the best ones are still going to survive and advance. Only it's more of a quid. Like, you actually have to play the games. But how many times would you expect that there's going to be a major upset in the college football playoff?
Well, after the break, we'll discuss this, because I've actually, as we've been talking about this, I went through last year. And I don't think the big problem that people are going to have with this is actually as big of a problem as you think.
You are in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some of that summertime humidity returning into the holiday weekend with some showers taking over the forecast late this weekend and early next week, and just about every day next week. Looks like we're covered up with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing on radar tonight, 65 degrees, but showers creep back into the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday for Asheville. High temps in the 70s and 80s for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents, and 2-pocket paper folders are just 25 cents each. In-store only offer ends 9/3, limit 30. Don't send your kids back to school, send them forward at Staples.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that, and that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home when it's time to buy. Visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And we'll get back to the college football playoff expansion talk here in just a minute. But let's get just a bit outside. And, hey, I'm going to stick in the college football world, though, because I've got a couple of NIL stories for you. I mean, first weekend of college football, I've seen I've seen so many people on social media talking about, all these guys making all this money. Well, at least some of them are doing something good with their money. And one of them is C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback. He recently got a deal along with his star wide receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba, with Columbus-based fashion designer Express. I don't know Express. I'm not familiar with their clothes, but
they wouldn't have fit you until about 3 weeks ago.
Indeed, they would not have. But Express is a fashion retailer. And yesterday, after practice, C.J. Stroud got up in front of the entire group of players and said, "Hey, I did y'all a solid. I want you looking really sharp for the game this weekend. I want us looking like a team, and I want us looking, quote-unquote, fly." He got them all $500 gift cards to Express so they could go get suits for the first game of the season. That's cool. I mean, look, you got a kid that's making, millions of dollars on his NIL deals. Why not give back a little bit to the to your fellow teammates? This goes back to, all the time when we see, Tom Brady or some other quarterback in the NFL has given Rolexes to his entire offensive line for keeping him healthy. Trickle it down to the rest of the fellas, why don't you?
I'm just going to say, as a 6'5" man that has worn clothing from Express, some of those suits are going to be a little tight. You're going to see some defensive linemen that are tugging on buttons.
Express doesn't have a big and tall section?
No, not really.
They don't do
no,
that?
Doesn't. It's really more, and oddly enough, it's more the tall part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Their clothes tend to be real short.
You get some like 6'6", 380-pound defensive tackle.
Oh, yeah, that guy, he had to use his own shoes.
Right.
He didn't get to buy suits
Hey, CJ,
there.
can I get 2 of those so I can get them to sew 2 suits together? That might work out for me. Also, in the NIL news, this weekend, NASCAR is going to be at Darlington in South Carolina. And one of the NIL deals that was signed this past season was with Darlington signed Grayson McCall of Coastal Carolina. Grayson McCall also, though, that's a little hint. Pick on that game coming up later on in the program.
For those of you
I
that
gotta
don't
get used
know,
to that again.
If you hear every time a bell rings, an angel hits a parlay. That's how things work around here.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that bell, that means that team will be picked later in this program.
Grayson McCall, not only does he have an NIL deal with Darlington Raceway, but he also has a deal with a Myrtle Beach, South Carolina-based apparel printing company called Native Sons. Native Sons is going to be sponsoring Ryan Vargas's number 6 JD Motorsports Chevrolet in the Sport Clips Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 coming up this weekend.
That is a very long race name.
It is a very long race name. But they put Grayson McCall, like it's like the cartoony looking pictures of headshots of guys that you see like on the NFL coverage on Fox every Sunday that they show after they score a touchdown. They've got one of those on Grayson McCall on the quarter panel of the car, and there is a hashtag on it that says "The Real McCall."
The fact that they didn't tie something mullet into that makes me really sad.
There is no mullet, but it's got a cool paint scheme on this the number 6 car for Ryan Vargas. They got the teal worked in for Coastal Carolina. They got Grayson McCall's little cartoony picture on the back end of it. And, of course, Native Sons, the apparel company, has the major logos on the car. But, hey, NIL, it's helping spread the word.
Last night when my beloved West Virginia Mountaineers were defeated, backyard brawl, I was not really able to contain my emotions in public. Well, apparently I was not the only person that struggled to contain their emotions in public. All-star guard Donovan Mitchell apparently found out about his trade to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a weird place. This from Brian Windhorst of ESPN. I can't tell you how I know this, but I'm aware of when he found out. And I'm aware of when he actually found out that he was in the trade. He was on a golf course. And when he found out that Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland were not in the trade, and neither was Kevin Love, he went screaming around the golf course in excitement.
As he should.
And the reason I wanted to bring the story up, first of all, I have gone screaming on a golf course once because I thought the ball went in off the tee, didn't, lift out. But I've crowdsourced this question since the Garland trade broke in the show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams do you actually think are better than them in the East next year?
I think the Celtics are.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Why?
Team's not as deep as you think. Losing Danilo Gallinari was bad.
Yeah, Danilo got hurt playing overseas.
He blew his ACL playing with the Italian national team. Stop playing in that's a story for another day.
But I don't think I really care.
Cleveland is at worst too.
To me, worst,
I don't know how you're going to stop them.
Okay.
They have 2 great rim protectors.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 2 guards that can just annihilate you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and they have Karis LeVert, too, that no one talks about. And Kevin Love finished second and 6th man of the year battling last year.
I would still have them behind Milwaukee.
I don't.
And I think it would be close for me with Philly.
I certainly don't have Philadelphia ahead of them. Philadelphia has 2 players. Cleveland has 5.
True.
5 legitimate dogs. 4 all-stars. You have 4 potential all-stars on this team.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only team in the NBA you can say that about.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Cleveland.
Cleveland is back. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. The college football playoff is going to expand. The breaking news just happening this hour, the College Football Playoff Board of Managers deciding on the 12-team playoff. It's now scheduled to start in 2026, but it could happen earlier.
In our YouTube comments, we had a fantastic question that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
Scott of Casterly Rock. I'm hoping I said that correctly. Where does the Rose Bowl factor in? Will it be across multiple networks? Will the Pac-12 expand? What happens with smaller programs like San Diego State and Boise State. Is the Big 12 safe, and will the ACC try and get out of their grant of rights? That's a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, I can give you one blanket answer for all of those. The reason this happened is because you had enough people that were in positions to go, if we don't do something, I'm in grave danger. The Pac-12, the Big 12, and the ACC, we're all looking around going, we could go the way of the dodo bird if we're not careful. Now, the expansion thing, the only conference I look at that, now that I know this, the ACC will stay intact. Clemson's in, Florida State's in, Miami's in. They're not going anywhere else. I have a spot at the table. I can get a second spot at the table, and there are enough at-larges that if I'm the second best team in the ACC, I have a pretty good chance of making this thing. ESPN beat me to the punch on what I was going to say, so I'm going to use their numbers coming up momentarily. Networks, this is an ESPN ABC thing. I mean, is that not how it strikes you?
Yes.
I've heard the entire time that this will be ABC, ESPN, and they are boxing everybody out on it.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a massive bidding war. That will occur.
Now, the thing that of his question that is the most, I'm going to say this worries me. The Rose Bowl probably dies. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but think of it this way. The years that it's not one of the 4 Big 6, who's going to play in it? Because the top 12 are out. They're going to be elsewhere. So if you just use last year for an example, you'd have had Penn State and Oregon. Yeah, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't. If they played that in my backyard, I would move.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pass.
The Rose Bowl becomes part of it. Part of the playoff.
Well, it's still going to stay. This is everything I have been told.
Mm-hmm.
The first 4 games, so you'll have 4 buys. It's just the only way the numbers work.
Right.
Those 4 buys will be automatic entries into 4 of the 6 New Year's 6. Well, if you're not in that, the years that you get cycled out of that, good luck. Last year, it would have been Clemson, Wake Forest, Louisiana, Houston, Kentucky. That's who you would have been picking from to put in those New Year's 6 games. Because the first 4 will be on campus. I'm 97.5% sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to rope other bowl games into that. The logistics of that would get to really be a headache. So I think those become on-campus home games for 5, 6, 7, 8.
I would agree.
I think that's the only way that works.
I think it makes more sense to do it that way. Although, how do you decide who? Obviously, the higher seed will get to host. Maybe that'll be a point of contention, though. I don't know. We haven't seen a full plan be released yet.
What do you mean that could be a point of contention? The money's going to be split.
Right.
Even the ticket revenue, you're going to have some kind of split.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because how are you going to sell that to the top 4? All right, so you are the 4 best teams, but it's actually the next 4 that we're going to cut gravy on their taters.
See, and that's what I was
okay.
Right, and that's what I was thinking was, well, the top 4, the higher 4 seeds will host those games. But there again, the teams that get the buys, they're not going to get the home game. They're not going to get the extra gate. They'll have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, this will be split somehow. Okay. I mean, obviously, the team that has to house it, you're going to have to do something because they're going to have an expense that everybody else is not going to have.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that gets into the logistics of they don't pay us to do those things, so I try my best not to.
And maybe they do. Maybe they rope in other bowl games to do this. You do it on a rotating basis. You get the Cotton Bowl and the Rose Bowl and some of these others that, whenever they cycle out, and then you get some of the lesser ones that get a chance. I mean, a college football playoff game in Yankee Stadium for the Pinstripe Bowl. That could be cool.
I feel like those 2 New Year's 6 are going to be just 4 at large. They'll have to be 4 at large berth. I think that's the only way it works because there is a possibility. Take this year, for example. All right, let's say USC and Utah are as good as you and I think they are. There is a high possibility that the Rose Bowl would be something in the neighborhood of Wisconsin and UCLA. Whoa. If you keep the conference allegiances. I just don't think you can do that. Now, I could be wrong. And the Rose Bowl is the one that if anybody was going to keep it, it would be them. But I'm not sure that you can.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that you can. I think you're going to have to.
I see the major bowl games being a part of the college football playoff.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but it's not going to be more than 4 of them. There are 6. So you got 2 that are sitting here with, like Oliver Twist, every third year.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to do something for them to make this. Because the Rose Bowl makes just boatloads of money.
But wait, why don't you have the 4? You have the 4 games. You know, you have the first round, and then the second round you have 4 games, and then you have 2 games for the semifinals.
Those games.
Those can be bowl games.
And that had crossed my mind,
The Rose Bowl
too.
can be a permanent semifinal matchup or site or something.
And that's fine. My only question is going to be, all right, we're 7. Is this going to be at some 7th location? Atlanta. Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best stadium in the world. I didn't even cough that time. It's just true.
The Peach Bowl?
I don't care. I don't care what you call it. Just play in Atlanta. I've been to 50 stadiums that we play in, either college football or high level. And not necessarily, they're not all NFL stadiums. That's the best stadium in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just, well, you know what? We'll call it good there for the first few years. Plus, I can comfortably get there by aeroplane.
Right.
And it doesn't entail me being in, what's a bad one? Scottsdale, Arizona.
And
I don't mind that when their airport just sucks.
Right. Yeah, and maybe that's the way they go. Maybe, you know,
that makes it when you said that.
The
way,
winners of the Fiesta Bowl and the the Cotton Bowl or the Sugar Bowl or whatever will meet up in the Rose Bowl,
and that would make sense. I think that's how you would get those bowl games on board. And if you're the Peach and the Cotton Bowl, you got to be going, man, I'm glad we hung out with our big brothers.
One thing you cannot do, I feel like, is leave the Rose Bowl hanging out there. I just don't feel like you can.
I don't either. It was I had considered that before you said it. It was one of those things that once it came out of your mouth, it made so much sense that that's the path.
Yeah, you cannot leave the granddaddy of them all out of it. Ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's got to be. I feel like the Orange Bowl's in the same. It's not to the same level, but I feel like it's right there.
Yeah. See, that's what we do here. We're just solving
problem solvers. Hey, bored. It's just we're one jingle away. Right. You got questions? We'll talk about it. We'll come up with a solution. We might do it live. We do that a lot.
The word is that a 12-team playoff could be worth $1.2 billion, and I think that's a low estimate.
Oh, I do too. This thing's going to print money.
Because right now it's currently $600 million
for 4.
For the 4. When it goes to 12, they're saying $1.2 billion.
That's probably low.
I would agree.
These will be the most commercialized things you have ever seen in your life.
Oh, so it's college football. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, pretty much. You will see more commercials for Tostitos chips than you could shake a stick at.
I mean, for God's sakes, we've got a Cheez-It Bowl. I feel like
they might have enough sponsorships that we could get the beer logo out there. I mean, it cost $1 bajillion, but hey, you know what? Put it real small on the sideline and accidentally flash it up there. Pay you $47.
Sold. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
It's time.
It is time, folks. When we come back from the break, it'll be our first true green on green of the college football season.
Roots and wings. The 2 greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25-day of show. And a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at Silverado'sWNC.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs, too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes, loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 23rd and 24th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale right now. AXS.com.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival is connecting all of us.
Brought to you by the CW's new hit series, All-American Homecoming. Stream every episode now for free, only on the CW app.
Coffee store closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's back. Time for college football bangers. I'm 5-7 so far against the spread. I was 3-2 last night, and well, we won't talk about week 0. First 5 picks. First one, Michigan State, 21-point favorite tonight against Western Michigan. Not enough. This Michigan State, look, they've taken a step back. But the fact that this number is not higher is laughably stupid to me. My metric had this in the 30s. Go Sparty. Michigan State minus 21. Next, TCU is a 13.5-point favorite at Colorado. I cannot explain to you properly how bad Colorado actually is. If Colorado and Arizona played each other, I have a feeling that the team that scored 0 would actually win because the other would find a way to lose 2 points. TCU minus 13.5. If you've listened to this show for any period of time, you know Phil Jakovic and the Boston College Eagles. They're one of my little darlings, and I'm going back to the well this week. 7-point favorite tomorrow in Chestnut Hill against Rutgers. This is a team I am going to make a lot of hay on, I believe. Look, Rutgers has improved with Greg Schiano. Defensively, they're going to be fine. At the end of the day, you don't have a quarterback nearly as good as Phil Jakovic, and you don't have an offensive weapon that can touch Zay Flowers. Easy. BC minus 7. But where's the dogs? Coming at you. Illinois is a 1-point dog tonight at Indiana. Sorry. I've looked at this all day, and I can't stop laughing at how comically stupid that is. Illinois is drastically improved. Look, I understand Wyoming's not overly impressive. I liked what I saw last week from the Illini. Indiana is bad. I get that they were 7-0 in the COVID year. That was a long time ago. They're nowhere near that. Illinois plus the 1. Finally, the UT San Antonio Roadrunners are a 4-point dog against Houston, and that's dumb. Trusting Dana Holgerson's like trusting gas station hot dogs. It's going to give you a lot of indigestion and probably ruin your day. That's why I'm not going to do it. This one was not all that difficult for me. I know they don't have Sincere McCormick. They still got the quarterback. Roadrunners, plus the 4.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And as always, you can take your wagers over to BetUs.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in to your account with our promo code.
Sportsocracy at BetUs.com.
Yes, indeed.
I am so locked in this week. I've got even more bangers than the ones I can give you on this show. I had to find some dogs. This was a hard week for underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these numbers just feel like they're not high enough. And I know I do this every year. Of how in the world is TCU only catching 13.5? They have the 2 most experienced quarterbacks in that game. And apparently they're going to play both. Chandler Morris and Dugan.
Mm-hmm.
1 runs, 1 throws. I don't love it, but going up against Colorado, good luck.
It'll be fine.
They're going to struggle to deal with 1. You throw in somebody that does something completely different, that could get ugly. But Illinois, that's my favorite bet of the week.
Oh, I wish I'd have saw this for just a bit outside. Do we know? Do we have any listeners in the New Jersey area?
I know we have. I don't know if
any of them are paying attention right now. Just saw this come across the news wires here this weekend, Labor Day weekend. Mike Tyson's edibles will debut in 3 New Jersey weed stores this weekend. The ones that have the ear chewed out.
I want a Lou Holtz edible.
A Lou Holtz edible?
There's no
better way to
deal with it.
If you eat enough of them, you'll talk like that.
Oh, 100%. There's no better way to deal with your pain than with one of my fruit chews. I've been trying to find a way to get Lou Holtz on this program for 3 days.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. My fruit chews.
My fruit
That's
chews
exactly
are
what
the best ways you
Lou
can
Holtz's
possibly
fruit
deal.
chews. Come straight from the Keebler elf tree.
Lou's fruit chews. It's really hard for me to say, but they're fantastic for what ails you.
And why are they always... They're the only flavor that they come in is fig.
And almond. I don't know why, but
just one of those old people flavors. For Christmas, he has fruitcake flavored ones.
Do any of them look like tears, which are Lou's response to Brian Kelly not writing him back? Is that not the jerkiest thing you've ever heard?
He's so upset about that.
Wrote 4 handwritten letters. And look, Lou's not sending you an email, all right?
Mm-mm.
He broke out the calligraphy set to send you this.
He doesn't text.
Dearest Brian, I feel like things are not exactly how they should be in South Bend, and I want you to correct these things.
Well, first off, if that's how you started the letter, I'm not writing you back either.
Oh, no, Lou was probably nice.
I don't know.
Maybe send him one at LSU. I really like your accent. I don't know where it came from, but...
You just stumbled upon that one in the dark, did you there, Brian? Football is back. We've got all the coverage coming for you over the next 2 hours of the day. Also, we got high school football tonight. Sports Tank Friday will be on the air at 6 o'clock immediately following this program. And then on all of our stations here on iHeartMedia Asheville, you will hear the Irwin Warriors and the Tuscola Mountaineers doing that double duty thing, that simulcast thing tonight because Cowboy John Roten found an opportunity to go to Atlanta to some Braves games. So he's out of town, and the Buncombe County High School Football Game of the Week crew starring Mr. Brian Hall and the rest of the gang will have the Irwin-Tuscola game for you tonight. If you're looking to go to a game, one of the most interesting games of the night in the area might be at Christ School. Carrollwood Day from the Tampa area comes up here. There are going to be more than 20 collegiate athletes on that field tonight, ranging from 5 stars on down. So if you're into it, maybe that's going to be a destination for you tonight.
I'm pulling waiting duty all weekend, so I'll be me and Lou will be having a good old time.
Can we say this on the air?
I mean,
it's on Facebook, so I would say so. We want to issue a congratulations to Asheville Police Chief David Zach and our very own sponsor of the show, Clarissa Marshall, who are getting hitched tomorrow
by News Gnome Mark Starling. I cannot wait to see what a nuptial by Mark Starling sounds like.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville Sports Center. Coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some of that summertime humidity returning into the holiday weekend with some showers taking over the forecast late this weekend and early next week. And just about every day next week looks like we're covered up with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing on radar tonight, 65 degrees, but showers creep back into the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday for Asheville. High temps in the 70s and 80s for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. Galaxy Z Fold 4 is here to change the way you get things done. Now you can browse social media while tuning into a video call. And with the expansive foldable screen, you can use up to 3 apps at the same time. Visit Samsung.com today to order your Galaxy Z Fold 4.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's Tuscola at Irwin. The non-conference season continues for both teams as Tuscola looks to get revenge for last year's loss to the Warriors. The Mountaineers have started the season 2-0. Irwin got a big win over Mountain Heritage last week. Can they keep the momentum rolling? We get things started at 6 o'clock with Sports Tank Friday. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 and the kickoff at 7. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning, the most trusted and reviewed cleaning company in town. Take advantage of their back-to-school sale going on now. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. ESPN has learned the College Football Playoff Board voted unanimously today to expand the playoff from 4 teams to 12 teams. Conference commissioners will meet in Dallas next week, and they could agree to start this expanded playoff in 2024. ESPN's Pete Thamel says this is basically the same plan that came up last year.
It's all very similar to the granular of home sites and that kind of thing. I think there still are some logistics to work out. But for the most part, the model that was expected and then debated has now returned because of money.
Pete Thamel on College Football Live. Under this new format, the 6 highest-ranked conference champs and 6 at-large teams would qualify. Tonight, 15th-ranked Michigan State hosts Western Michigan in East Lansing. The game is at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. ESPN's Field Yates reports the Patriots and Jets restructure contracts to create cap space. Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley and Patriots tight end Jonnu Smith.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can download it and take us with you everywhere you go.
Or you can check us out on YouTube like our buddy Evan Doyle, our resident Virginia Tech Hokie aficionado, who just super chatted his weekly Virginia Tech prediction. His Virginia Tech bangers, only thing you can count on more is the President of the United States stumbling on words. That's the only thing that is more guaranteed to happen.
Right.
Virginia Tech will beat Old Dominion and cover the spread, take the over 48. It's been real quiet in Blacksburg, usually a good sign. Not a banger I was planning on giving out, but I will concur. I agree with you.
There you go. College football week 1 got all started up last night as we saw the West Virginia Mountaineers
why we gotta talk about
stumble
that?
At the end.
Why we got to talk about that?
Against the
It was a great
Pittsburgh
night.
Panthers.
Great night.
It was here. I mean, I will give you this. West Virginia is better than I thought they were.
Drastically.
They
ran the ball really well, which is I know our buddy Colin will really enjoy that I'm about to do this. I've been working up to this all day. As I was thinking this about the time JT Daniels threw an interception from his own 10. Run the damn ball!
I think it's going to be just fine. You guys are going to be way more competitive, I feel like, than you have been in the last few years.
Oh, I have a little slip of paper that came from one of those casino places.
Mm-hmm.
It says West Virginia over 5.5, and I'm not going to lie to you. I feel pretty good about that after last night.
38-31, Pittsburgh won against West Virginia, and then we had a close one as well with Penn State rallying in the final moments against Purdue, 35-31. Sean Clifford playing the hero, hitting the running back on a wheel route. He just got behind the defense, and the corner of the end zone was wide open. It was a beautiful play.
Game.
It was a beautiful play, well executed last drive, 8 plays, 80 yards. It was a phenomenal finish to a really good ball game.
Are we just not going to talk about the greatest banger of last night?
Which was?
The Florida International Bryant in overtime. Oh. I was the only one live betting that. Oh, okay. So I have a problem?
Yep.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yep. 38-37.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Panthers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I swear to you, I had 5 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the right side.
Good for you. The rest of it, I mean, I didn't catch much of the Oklahoma State Central Michigan game, but that one looked like it was entertaining.
It was.
58-44. I think that could spell some kind of trouble for Oklahoma State once they get into Big 12 play.
Well, when you give up 44 points to the fighting Chippewas, that's Central Michigan's quarterback threw for 4 bills.
Yeah, but Central Michigan is also a decent program.
Are they, though?
And they pulled the upset over Oklahoma State, 2 years ago? So
2 years is a long time. 2 years is a long time.
Just saying. It's not like they were playing, I don't know, VMI. Wake Forest killed the Keydets last night without Sam Hartman.
Yeah, I didn't. I can't say that I can't claim to have that I watched a lot of that one.
Tennessee got a big win at home over Ball State. They look really electric, and I saw good things. I saw good things from Tennessee last night, and when I liked Hendon Hooker when he was at Virginia Tech, and I think I'm going to love his senior season even more.
We got breaking news.
Oh, breaking news! I love it on a Friday afternoon.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I mean, and this may not be news to anybody else, but it's news to me.
Okay.
My brother in West Virginia, Willie, got kicked out of a bar last night.
Oh!
West Virginia proud. Let's go. Let's go. That's how we do this, all right? We may not win a lot of games, but you know what we do? We just pound beers, and we scream at things, and we sing country roads, and sometimes you have one too many. Maybe you cry. Maybe you make a bit of a scene. West Virginia proud. Let's go.
Nice.
That's regular season forming. I like it.
Got kicked out of a bar last night. For fighting, or was it were you just being too boisterous because your team lost? Or
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna need details.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in our Sunday watch spot, the Village Porch out in Woodfin, which is where we will be every Sunday of the football season, and found out last night got some mullet themed drink specials coming that I think you'll enjoy quite nicely. Give you more information on those next week. And all of the things that will be around our Sundays.
Indeed. We've got, NFL kicks off next week. This is all about college football, though. I am obviously primed and ready to see what my Georgia Bulldogs will look like, the defending national champions.
God, I'm so ready for you not be able to say that anymore.
3:30. Well, I mean, I got a whole year of it. So.
No, you got 4 more months of it. You've had a whole year of it.
I meant a whole season.
Yeah, you got 4 months. Okay. Yeah. Clock's ticking. Get those out of your system while you still can.
Oh, believe me, I will. How many times did I say reigning and defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yeah, I'm going to get my fill of it. Down in Atlanta, as part of the opening kickoff weekend, number 3 Georgia, number 11 Oregon. I just feel like there are too many people down on my Dogs.
Who are these people? Are these hobbits can we see these people, or can only you see them?
No, I think there's too much naysaying going on.
I'm going to need you to elaborate.
That we lost too much. That there's no way that this team is going to be able to make a run at another national championship. I have heard it. I'm not saying you've said it, because you and I are on the same page here. They'll be back in the playoff more than likely. Probably not going to win the thing again.
2 out of every 3 bets across casinos in this country are on your Bulldogs to cover 17. 80% of the money is on you. I feel like these naysayers are either in your head or fictitious. Maybe they hang out with Sasquatch.
They do. They hang out with Sasquatch.
They hang out with Sasquatch?
They hang out with Sasquatch. Look, Georgia did lose a lot to the NFL. We all know that.
In our YouTube comments, Mark Phillips, that's the first Oregon fan I've seen. Brother, I am so on your side. I want nothing more. Said I'm a Ducks fan. Go Ducks. We're going to beat Georgia.
No, stop.
I want nothing more. There is nothing that would make me happier than to come in here Monday morning and just be able to quack at him for 3 solid hours. Because that's what I want to do. Is there anything that would let you down more?
No.
You come out, and I'm not even saying you get throttled, because I don't think there's a path of that.
No.
Somehow you wind up losing this game. On a scale of 1 to 10, how deflated would you be?
75.
It's going way off the scale.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where it starts. Because not only do you have defending national champions fall flat on their faces in their backyard in Atlanta on opening weekend, but you also have the built-in of SEC versus Pac-12. You've got that whole narrative that all of these, 6 teams in the SEC should beat the crap out of everybody in the Pac-12. It's what we've always felt. It would be a major disappointment. I don't feel like there's a great chance of that happening. Maybe had you had a different quarterback in Oregon this year other than Bo Nix.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Bo Nix is you love to use that he's a winner thing.
He's not, though.
I mean, he's won some games that he shouldn't have. I specifically remember him winning a game against the team he now plays for that he had no excuse to win. That I lost just a whole boatload full of doubloons on.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea what Bo Nix's stats look like against Georgia?
Not good.
No, not good at all. In fact, in the 3 games that he's played against the Georgia Bulldogs, he has thrown for a total of 639 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and completed 56% of his passes.
On a completely different team.
Okay.
I take very little. Now, if I was looking at him as a pro prospect, okay, now we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
This is a completely different system. In the beginning, I thought this number was too high. And then I realized that the number on this game was the same number on the Ohio State-Notre Dame game, which is comical to me.
Too low? Comically low? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think the Georgia-Oregon one is too low. Look, if this game was anywhere but Atlanta, I would like the chances that they could stay competitive. Because what those West Coast schools do, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's worked against the SEC, not to beat them, but to cover against them, spread them out. Spread them out, lane assignments. You get guys in space that are having to make decisions that aren't used to it. This is a young Georgia defense because, like you said, you did lose a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Would it shock me if Oregon covered this number? Nope.
Not
no,
that
it wouldn't.
young. They're not that young, though. You still have a lot of veterans on that team.
You have two that played high-level snaps.
Okay.
Jalen Carter and Kelly Ringo. End of message. Repeat the line.
Nolan Smith.
No, 3.
Okay.
All right, I forgot. I knew I was forgetting somebody.
He's
I
one of the
couldn't
best
remember
damn linebackers in college football. You can't forget Nolan.
I actually think when I did the note on this, I had Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, and Kelly Ringo was the one. And, he's done stuff too.
Yeah, he's done
I think I
stuff
just
too.
said it wrong. No.
Right. I mean, there's still there is a lot of there are stars on this defense still.
Oh, no doubt.
And
I can argue Jalen Carter's the best of the bunch.
Agreed. I feel like he was among he could have been considered one of the best of the bunch last year when they had all the guys that got drafted.
The thing that would worry me if I was a Duck is I would be looking at what Georgia has. This is the only competitive game they will play until Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
They play Florida 2 days before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure that'll be competitive, to be really honest with you.
It depends.
This could be the toughest test they have all year. This is the highest ranked team they play all year. How in the... Man, I hate your team.
Yeah.
You're in the SEC and you have a schedule that looks like it fell right out of the ACC.
Because we're on the right side of it. We're on the correct side of the SEC.
Yeah, the East is...
Right. You get in the East
is the more fun place to be.
We got two teams. You got two other teams that you're even remotely scared of. Florida and Tennessee. Kentucky...
Wait, what was that first team you said?
Florida. Florida and Tennessee, and then I'll give you Kentucky, too. So, okay, 3 teams you're even scared of in the SEC East. Like I said, I don't see much of a path for Alabama. I know Alabama's got a tougher road to go, but I also feel like they're a better team, more experienced team than Georgia is. They'll probably be able to run the table on the West. Georgia runs the table on the East. Undefeated teams meet up in the SEC championship game.
At the top of the next hour, we will be drafting our best of the weekend. This will be our Friday daily draft moving forward. Now, this week, it's just college.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a little bit more difficult. I might have a couple that it's not so much that it would be fun to watch as it would be to be in the stadium for the, we'll say, ambiance.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue due to an accident. 240 eastbound slow between exit 2 and exit 4C. 26 westbound delays between Upward Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow east of Long Shoals Road to Chimney Rock Road. Future 26 eastbound delays between Riverside Drive and 240. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound again delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road near Fanning Bridge Road delays both directions. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. NC 191 near North Rugby Road delays.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. Includes choice of double stack JBC or crispy chicken BLT with 4-piece nugs, small drink, and fries. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs, too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes, loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It's ESPN Asheville, and college football is back in full effect. Week 1 kicked off last night. We've got several games going tonight, including Virginia Tech and Old Dominion, Charlotte and William Mary. You know, you're all going to be tuning in on that one.
Be careful if you're a 49er. I'm just telling you. I'm not picking that one.
Be
but
careful
if I had.
Of losing that game, is that what you're saying?
You could. You absolutely could.
Yeah, it's not a good team. I think they saved Friday night for all the bad teams. Colorado, Kansas, Duke, Charlotte.
Oh, wait. Duke?
Duke. He's got a pick on that one coming up, at the end of this hour?
No, that will be in the
that'll be in the
grand finale.
The grand finale coming up at the end of the 5 o'clock hour. All right, and tomorrow it all gets underway. Of course, the North Carolina teams facing off in Boone, Kidd Brewer Stadium. You got North Carolina at Appalachian State. And number 13, NC State, taking on East Carolina on the road at Dowdy Ficklin. It's going to be a ruckus environment.
Oh, tomorrow's going to be insane.
And I'm just so waiting in anticipation of the major letdown that's coming for Wolfpack fans. Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming at some point. Like, it may not happen tomorrow. I don't believe it's going to happen tomorrow. I think they will beat East Carolina tomorrow. But
here's the thing.
As
hyped as this team has been, anything short of just an evisceration is going to be a letdown.
When you have national media members that are out there writing articles about the possibility that NC State could run the table and join the college football playoff, you will have every NC State fan just losing their minds. I frankly just can't wait to see it happen.
I have a dedicated lead in that game.
Pretty much because of all of the hype that was heaped on the North Carolina Tar Heels last year, and then it immediately went into the tank with Virginia Tech.
And every State fan just relished in it.
Wolfpack fans were just insufferable. I mean, they were Tank Spencer coming off of a championship year. Insufferable.
No, they were in the ballpark, but that's a difficult level to attain.
I'm just, just waiting for that moment to happen.
I think it's going. That's, to me, is one of the best games of the weekend. The 2 North Carolina games are very high on my list.
Okay, all right. I'm not as convinced as you are about how good that game will be. Although, did you see Mike Houston's little pep rally speech last night?
I did not, but I need to.
Oh, it was great.
It
was great. He
is A1 since day one.
Yeah, he was up on stage, and he was just, we have sold out the stadium. Congratulations. We will see you all there, and let's bust their. Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. He threw out the F and the A. I was like, yes!
Let's see. How shocked am I by that? 0.0%.
0%. Yeah, Mike Houston's got his boys ramped up, and he is trying to do the same for the crowd. And Dowdy-Ficklin is a place that can be very, very intimidating. I mean, Carolina has gone in there and lost. And didn't they beat Miami several years ago? I don't know. I don't think they hosted Miami. But East Carolina has had a history of pulling these upsets.
Look, I will be unabashed in A, my love for Mike Houston, B, my love for East Carolina, and C, I feel almost no doubt that is going to be a team you hear me pick on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I get a lot of shade thrown my way because of my allegiance to Florida State and my allegiance to West Virginia. Well, ECU is going to be a very close third.
Also, in the 12 o'clock games, here's one that I heard earlier today that I want to get your thoughts on, Jeremy. That the Iowa-South Dakota State game could be one of the most unheralded games of the weekend. South Dakota State, not a bad football program.
Man, you went deeper divey than I do.
No. I heard this on another radio show, and one of the guys who was there, Flostradamus, basically, he's the pick guy. He was saying South Dakota State plus the points against Iowa is probably one of the best bets of the weekend.
I don't even have a number on that game. Oh, I'm going to have to go very. I do not like seeing games that I don't have a number on.
But the Jackrabbits, I think they're only 2 years removed from appearing in the FCS championship game. And they take on Iowa, who is not a juggernaut. They're not an major offensive
And they're
threat.
a little down as well.
Mm-hmm. So that could be a good one in that 12 o'clock slate.
Where in the world has this guy betting? Is he betting this behind a bowling alley
I have
somewhere?
no idea. He didn't. I didn't hear a number. I didn't. He was just throwing that out there.
Is he laying doubloons on this in the back of a car?
Maybe he is. Is there not a number on it?
Not anywhere that I pull them from.
Really?
I literally cannot find a number on that anywhere.
Okay. Just curious. Jay Norvell making his debut with Colorado State, going up against Michigan. Probably not going to go his way.
No, that is a boat race if you've ever seen one.
But that's also one of the storylines of the weekend is all the coaches that are making their debuts with their new teams. I had the thought yesterday that daily draft we could talk about coaches that moved teams, who's going to make the bigger impacts for their teams. Jeremy said it gets too thin.
Well,
we wouldn't be able to go 12 deep on that list.
No, but we can go 4 deep. After the break, we'll discuss new old faces in new places.
Well, let's do that
because there are a couple that are really intriguing to me. One of them is the hardest game to pick I've had. We've been doing this show this is our 3rd college football season.
Mm-hmm.
It is the hardest game to pick I've had in 3 years. But as a service to you, the listener of this program, I do not shy away from the big games.
Also, when we come back from the break, it'll be time to get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some of that summertime humidity returning into the holiday weekend with some showers taking over the forecast late this weekend and early next week. And just about every day next week looks like we're covered up with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing on radar tonight, 65 degrees, but showers creep back into the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday for Asheville. High temps in the 70s and 80s for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between exit 2 and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is slow west of Chimney Rock Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Again, 40 westbound slow between Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road north and southbound near Fanning Bridge Road is slow, and Hendersonville Road northbound slow between Long Shoals Road, Mills Gap Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound stop and go approaching Mills Gap Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road north and southbound delays between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey y'all, this is Joe Lasher.
And I'm Caitlin Baker. This Friday night, we're bringing the next stop of the Ingles Hometown Concert Series to Burnsville, North Carolina for a great night at Home Place Beer Company. Commodore Fox will open the show at 6 p.m.
Bring a canned food or cash donation to get into the show, and all proceeds will benefit Reconciliation House Food Pantry.
We'll see you this Friday night in Burnsville, North Carolina at Home Place Beer Company for the Ingles Hometown Concert Series.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25 day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at silveradoswnc.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Time to get weird, and this is a good story. Good story with a happy ending. Oh, by the way, an update. On yesterday's story, the man in Ohio that was stung 20,000 times by bees, he was woken up today from his medically induced coma. Again, expected to make a full recovery, but I saw that story, figured I needed to pass it on since we talked about him yesterday.
I also have an update to a story later in this program that will make at least some of you angry.
A Brazilian fisherman got more than he expected when he went out for a few days fishing off the coast of French Guiana. Disaster struck when his boat began to fill with water and started to sink. Thankfully, the man had his wits about him, and he made a smart decision. He decided that he was going to survive this by stowing away, basically, in the freezer that he had on the boat. So he goes out to fish. He's got a big freezer. He wants to catch everything, throw it into the freezer, and then take it back home. Well, the boat sank, and the only thing he had that would float was the freezer. This guy survived for 11 days, floating in the middle of the ocean in a freezer. That's insanity to me. I thank God that he was, and he thanks God as well, but he had no food, no water. He lost more than 10 pounds while he was floating for 11 days. He has been rescued. He said that he was going to be attacked by sharks, but there were a lot of curious fish out there on the high seas. So apparently he did get to see some action as the curious fish maybe had to deal with the sharks while he was in the freezer, but thankfully he did not get attacked while he was out there. 11 days. That's a movie. Can't wait to see it.
As somebody that does all of our social media and graphics and things like that, one of my great nightmares was just lived out by Costco. They sell novelty university sweatshirts.
Okay.
So that's just a thing they do. All right, if there's a Costco in your area, you can pick up a non-licensed university shirt. So South Carolina, they'll have them in garnet and black, but it won't necessarily say the team name or anything like that. Well, they made one for the University of California at Irvine.
Okay.
And they boo-booed it. And now it has become a hot novelty item and is leading to another chain of shirts for UC Irvine.
Okay.
Irvine with a U. They put out a shirt that says UC URVINE. The problem is that Irvine is spelled with an I.
Mm-hmm.
So they produced 10,000 of these, yanked them immediately when somebody was going to put them out and went, nope, that's not how you do that.
Right.
Now there is a separate entity that is putting out shirts licensed by the university that says UC Irvine with a U.
Nice.
You got to love somebody that is opportunistic like that.
Mm-hmm. Also, any way we can get our name out there.
These are
Cal Irvine.
The original ones are selling on eBay for $100+ a piece.
Wow. I don't know anybody who wants them that bad.
No.
You could offer me one. Never mind. I was going to say you could offer me one for free and I wouldn't wear it, but I absolutely would.
You 100%
cheaper
would.
than oxygen.
I have one of the most. This was not a misprint, but my time with West Virginia coincided with an Abercrombie and Fitch campaign that did not go over well about the state of West Virginia, and I may or may not possess 2 of those shirts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
Nice.
It was quite the kerfuffle.
Interesting. All right, you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and the new faces, new places around college football. I have defended Brent Venables the best I can.
Who do they play?
Who does Oklahoma play? I don't remember.
It's UTEP.
Oh, UTEP. Yeah, they should win that one easily.
I didn't say they shouldn't. Didn't necessarily say that's what the pick is on.
Yeah, the pick is coming up later on in the program here. But I have, I think this is going to go over better than you do. I think Brent Venables is a good coach. The defense will be improved with Oklahoma. There are concerns about the offensive side of the ball after losing Caleb Williams and the rest of those who deserted to go to USC. Marcus Freeman, same thing with Notre Dame.
Well, so the problem for Marcus Freeman is that I fully believe he gets smoked.
Oh, by Ohio State.
He's talked too much. You cannot incite a team that is this much better than you. And they have been quite mouthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Marcus Freeman's debut game, this is going to be,
But you also understand why. Not only is it a top 5 matchup to start out the season, but he's the emotional trigger for his team. Has been since he was, the defensive coordinator under Brian Kelly. He's the get him amped up guy. So obviously he's going to do that. Plus it's his alma mater. He played and attended Ohio State. So, of course.
And I have a funny feeling that they're going to take every bit of interest and enjoyment in just scatter, smother, cover, dice chunking you.
Maybe so.
The one that I can't get away from is Billy Napier.
It was so bad at the end with Dan Mullen.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I've talked about this before. Florida was that team that one year they could score 1 billion points and could not stop a nosebleed. The next year, they would be ferocious defensively and couldn't score. If Billy Napier just pulls these things to the middle, I could see Florida being exponentially better and quick.
Much easier to recruit to Florida than it is to Louisiana.
It is, and that's a prodigious school. I don't feel like they were as bereft of talent as everybody makes them out to be. As I stated, that's the hardest game I've had to pick in 3 years, them and Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I know who the better team is.
It's Utah.
But you're coming a long way. This is probably the most lively I've seen that fan base in a long time. So the stadium's going to be loud.
Mm-hmm.
And the question all falls on Anthony Richardson. Is he the quarterback that we have been sold that he is, or is he the quarterback that I have seen him to be? And that is what will 100% determine the initial year of Billy Napier.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say he brought some transfers to Florida that nobody's talking about. They are going to be a headache. Cyrus Torrance, he's one of the best offensive linemen in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Comes from Louisiana. He recruited him, and now he starts at Florida. If you had to pick one that would be the most successful, who would it be? Take Lincoln Riley out, because that one's too obvious.
The most successful. Like, who is success? Who's going to win more games, or who's going to do more to turn around the program that he
What
took
fan
over?
base will be happier after 1 year with their new coach? Because Notre Dame's going to win a lot of games, but I don't think they will necessarily be hunky-dunky at 9-3,
right,
or 8-4, or whatever that's going to end up being. They play 3 different teams that I think could just annihilate them.
Who will be the happiest fan base after 1 year with their new head coach? I'm going to say Mario Cristobal.
That would be my answer, too.
I don't know that I can get away from, because, I mean, I do agree. Like, I would feel much different about this game coming up tomorrow with Georgia and Oregon if Mario Cristobal was still there.
I don't know that I would. I don't think that would change anything for me.
Well,
but him being at Miami, that changes a lot.
Who's a better coach?
Watching Manny Diaz pathetically call a Penn State defense last night, I remember how much I liked seeing him on the opposite side of Florida State.
Right.
Mario Cristobal's not that guy. And you look at the players he's brought in, Ed Reed's a great example. How often do you see Ed Reed at Miami now? All the time. Because he's on the staff. He's making Miami cool again. And they haven't had a coach do that since Butch Davis. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I don't know who it would be. Please don't say you're Larry Coker. Larry Coker inherited a good team and just went, hey, how long is it going to take me to screw this up? 3 years. Here we go.
There was a lot of hype early on for Mark when Mark Richt went there.
And that would never – it never felt like this.
No.
This hire feels different.
Well, and you also have a really good team. You also have a team that has, a really good quarterback. You've got pieces to sell with this team on top of Mario Cristobal being there.
What would make a Miami fan happy in year one? You play 3 teams that are ranked in the initial ranking in your 12. So you play at Texas A&M, you play at Clemson, you play Pittsburgh. Are you happy going 10-2, getting smoked by Texas A&M?
I think so.
I don't know that you are.
I think you're happy because if you go 10-2, you're going to win the Coastal. You'll be in the ACC championship game, which would be an improvement, right? Miami hasn't played for an ACC championship, so that is improvement in and of itself. Now, you're never going to be happy. I mean, you're never going to make everybody happy. We all know this. It doesn't matter. You're never going to have all fans on board because there are some that think, oh, well, Mario Cristobal and Tyler Van Dyke, this is just perfect, and we're back. And we're back means we're going to play for a national championship.
All right, I'll go a step further than that. Would you be happier at 9-3 playing close with A&M and Clemson, or 10-2 just getting absolutely smoked? I know my answer, and it's not really even all that close to me.
I would like to play them close.
I want to play close.
I want to play them close.
I want it to be obvious that we are the predominant school in Florida because they have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Napier is about as sexy as a box of Kleenexes. And I'm not talking about how he looks. I'm talking about from a recruiting standpoint. He's a great coach. Mario Cristobal has brought cool back to Miami.
Mm-hmm. If you go out and you get smoked, just absolutely scattered, smothered, and covered in any game this season, I don't think you're going to be – obviously you're not going to be happy about it, but you would feel better if you had 3 losses and they were all one-score games. Because then you could say, well, now what's going to happen next? Well, now next year, that'll be our year. Rather than going into the offseason thinking – yeah, it was great that we won the Coastal and we were 10-2, but when we faced the toughest team that we had to play outside of our conference this year, we just didn't look like we belonged on the field with any team from the SEC.
The reason I have been so high on Lincoln Riley and Mario Cristobal is that you're bringing something. You got to remember, I'm in my mid-30s. You're 40 now. People our age, we remember when the U was the U. You got to remember, 18-year-old kids have never seen that.
Right.
Kids that are being recruited by the school now, they don't know anything about that. They know Miami as a doormat. They know Miami as a school that gets hyped up and then gets flatlined.
Wow. That has been 20 years, more than 20 years ago.
USC, the Pete Carroll days. Guys being recruited now, they don't know anything about that. It's one thing if you grew up in L.A. County and you're just immersed in it. The kid from Texas doesn't know squat about USC. So you bring those, you hearken back to the old days, and you see guys like Keyshawn Johnson that are coming back to USC. You see guys like Ed Reed that are coming back to Miami. That's how you build a power. Alabama did a lot of that with Saban. We hearkened back to the good old days. Kirby Smart at Georgia did the exact same thing.
Adam Black asked, was it the 2001 team that was ridiculous for Miami? Yes.
Basically, everything from about 99 to 04 was not fun to deal with.
That was also the Willis McGahee game, wasn't it?
Yes.
Still makes my skin crawl watching his leg bend backwards like that.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, because I know your answer and mine are going to be different.
Okay.
Who do you think is the most unhappy one calendar year from now with a new coach? Because I think we all know my answer. It's Brent Venables, and it's not close.
Oh, yeah.
There are people at Oklahoma that actually think they're going to go undefeated and just let the good times roll.
Yeah, no.
No, you are not.
No. That's a really good one. I think that's probably the school and the position that has the most potential for sadness. Because anything short of winning the Big 12, you're going to be disappointed.
And I'm going to level. I don't see a way they win the Big 12. I cannot physically make two ends meet that Oklahoma is the best team in that conference.
I don't either. I feel like while I have defended Brent and getting this job, and it was time for him to get a head coaching job, I still don't think that they're the fourth best team in the Big 12.
They're certainly behind Baylor.
Oklahoma State.
I believe they're behind Oklahoma State. The defense last night really worries me for OSU. Mm-hmm. I think they're behind Texas, but I think it's very close.
Mm-hmm. I think Texas being left out of the top 25 was ridiculous. And I get that they're always, they're the Dallas Cowboys of college football. They're always overrated. Everybody expects them to be good. Maybe this is a sign that people have come around to realizing that Texas football is not what it once was. Well, any other year I would agree with you. But, Steve Sarkisian is a pretty good coach.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good offensive mind. And you have the best quarterback in the country coming in. So,
Recruiting-wise,
right. Quinn Ewers. I'm not trying to put him up over Bryce Young and all those guys. I'm just saying, I've said this before on this show. This is the most hype there's been at Texas since Colt McCoy.
I would agree with that.
And I feel like they're probably they got a good chance, I would say, of competing for the Big 12 title. And I don't really see that for Oklahoma. So, yeah, you're probably right.
Another one that we didn't talk about, new coach, that I think you're going to see a massive shift, and it starts this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's LSU. Look, I understand Brian Kelly's a jerk, and there's nothing. The videos were goofy, and he's done a lot of weird things over the offseason. At the end of the day, he's still a phenomenal coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the 10 best coaches in college football, and that's not even debatable to me. And taking over for Go Tigers, you're going to see a marked shift. Now, would I be happier if he'd brought Marcus Freeman as his defensive coordinator? Obviously, but I don't. That team was so inconsistent defensively anyway that anything is going to really be an improvement. And they have so little hype. I can't figure that out. That's been just driving me crazy all week long. Why does no one talk about this team? LSU, there's zero hype whatsoever about this team. There are actually people that are in booster clubs with me that think Florida State's going to beat them.
That's ridiculous.
Which is, I mean, obviously to the two of us it is.
Mm-hmm.
But look what we did at Duquesne. Stop.
It was the end of the Ed Orgeron era was that bad. It was that bad that everybody believes that this is who this team is.
And I think that has taken the stock down to such a point that they're primed to be the happiest walking away from this coaching cycle.
Again, we talk about recency bias all the time. The last thing you saw is what you believe is truth. And you saw this team be mediocre last year at the end of of Ed Orgeron's era. And now you got Brian Kelly coming in and people go, well, you got a good receiver, but that's it. Just watch out for Azeez Ojulari's brother. That's all I'm saying.
BJ.
Yeah. BJ Ojulari. He could very well make a case for SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
And my favorite player in all of college football, Booty. Keyshawn Booty.
You are in the Sportsocracy. Coming up after the break, it's time for some more bangers. It's time to put 5 on it with Jeremy Greene.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Again, 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and Georges Branch Road. Future 26 eastbound delays between Riverside Drive and 240. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road, north and southbound, near Fanning Bridge Road, heavy delays. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, stop and go. Again, Bavard Road, northbound, slow, approaching Clayton Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Tide presents Laundry Truths, Cold Hard Savings.
Oh, hey, about to start a load. On hot? You know, washing in cold water with Tide can save you up to $150 a year on your energy bill. $150? Go on. The lower the temp, the lower your bills. Simple. Plus, Tide Pods are designed for a powerful clean, even in cold.
Wow, cool tip. Get it?
Oh yeah, I get it.
Turn to cold and save with Tide. Energy savings based on average from switching from hot to cold and non-HE machines.
Northern Tool and Equipment's Labor Day sale is on now. Stop in and save up to 50% on pressure washers, power and hand tools, floor jacks and jack stands, trailer parts, ratchet straps, and more. Hundreds of deals in-store or northerntool.com.
Count on Lowe's for Labor Day savings. Get a Maytag top-load washer for just $568 and a top-load dryer only $548. That's a savings of $462 for the pair. Plus, get free delivery and special financing. Also, buy one, get one 50% off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Paint and Cabot Exterior Stains via rebate. Shop Labor Day savings now at Lowe's. See store at Lowe's.com for details and restrictions. Gas dryers available at additional cost. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Valid through 9/7.
What's better than the long weekend? Kohl's budget-boosting deals on denim. I got myself jeans for $19.99, 40% off Levi's for my son. Even my husband found a pair for 30% off. Plus, because I spent over $25, I got $10 off. And earned Kohl's Cash. More style, more savings. Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end September 5th. Levi's coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
We haven't done this in what feels like forever. If you're new to this game, what we do every year when football season starts, we start a $500 bankroll. Then, on a daily basis, we come through and put 5 on it. Different bets. I got 4 of them, and we build the bankroll that way. First, I got 25 on it. UTEP and Oklahoma. No, I'm not taking the Miners to cover the number. However, I do think it's grossly overrated how good Brent Venables is going to make this defense that could not play a tree in a child's play last year. I got 25 on it, over 57 UTEP at Oklahoma. I got 25 on it. The LSU Tigers that we were just talking about are a 3-point favorite against my Florida State Seminoles. And that is insanity. They are drastically better. People are underselling Jaden Daniels, who is a very good quarterback. I like this LSU team. I got 25 on it. LSU minus the 3. Next, I got 50 on it. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, the Mullets themselves, are only a 2-point favorite against Army. I'm going to need you to explain that to me and do it very, very slowly. Grayson McCall returns, one of the most vet quarterbacks in all of college football. The offense is good. They run well. I understand Andre Carter is a very good player. That's one guy. Insane. Coastal Carolina, I got 50 on it minus the 2. And finally, if you know this game well, you know that I'm really confident when I put $100 on it. Illinois tonight in the money line, plus 110 as a dog at Indiana. Indiana is bad. Bad. And Illinois, while they're not great, they're markedly better than that. I got 100 on it. Illinois, money line at Indiana.
That's a big old banger to kick off the college football year with the 5 on it game. And you can take those wagers over to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500.
And somebody has been raking on BetUs. I don't see your wagers or things like that. I just see the activity and how much somebody has been crushing on BetUs since the college football season started.
Good for you. We encourage everyone to get involved in that. BetUs.com, promo code Sportsocracy.
And now, if you're new to the program and you don't know how we end shows on Fridays, it's with the bangers.
Yes.
I got more. I got them all. I got everything you could possibly want. And today, we are paying homage to the greatest band of the 20th century, Creed.
Oh, stop.
Creed. It's going to be a full Creed-themed banger segment to end this here show to make you all the money this Saturday in college football.
What, was Nickelback not available?
You stop that. Those two bands do not belong in the same sentence, and you know it. Scott Stapp might have been a jerk, but they put out gold.
Okay. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. The Sports Center update coming up next. And then time for the Daily Draft, where Jeremy and I will be selecting the best games of the college football weekend.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some of that summertime humidity returning into the holiday weekend with some showers taking over the forecast late this weekend and early next week. And just about every day next week looks like we're covered up with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing on radar tonight, 65 degrees, but showers creep back into the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday for Asheville. High temps in the 70s.
Daily Draft, where Jeremy and I will be selecting the best games of the college football weekend.
Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound.
First set of bangers of the year. What better way to pay homage than by using the greatest band of the 20th century, Greene?
40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Again, 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and Georges Branch Road. Future 26 eastbound delays between Riverside Drive and 240. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road, north and southbound, near Fanning Bridge Road, heavy delays. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, stop and go. Again, Bavard Road, northbound, slow, approaching Clayton Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. The brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is here. Capture hands-free content from every angle with Flex Mode. The sleek foldable design lets you make your device conveniently compact. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Flip 4 today.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The College Football Playoff Board of Managers, made up of school presidents and chancellors, votes today to expand the playoff from 4 teams to 12 teams in 2026. But this new format could start as early as 2024 if FBS conference commissioners vote to accept it next week. Serena Williams on center stage again tonight at the U.S. Open, a third-round match against Ayla Tomljanovic. ESPN's Darren Cahill.
I reckon she's surprised everybody but herself, because Serena expects herself to play to this level, and now she's at a level where she's going to walk into any match against any player, and we expect this type of tennis from her. So she's been an absolute joy to watch.
Darren Cahill, live coverage of the Open right now on ESPN, and coverage of the Williams match at 7 Eastern. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports Arizona Cardinals safety Jalen Thompson will get a long-term extension worth up to $40 million. And after almost 40 years with the team, Bears president and CEO Ted Phillips will retire after the 2022 season.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
You look at Notre Dame, where are they going to be in the end, though? Are they going to be in the mix in the end? I don't think so.
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene. Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, the final hour of the week. As we, of course, are all excited about week 1 of the college football season, we will be with you. Just feel like we need to say this. We will be with you on Monday to recap everything going on. You know, some people like to take Labor Day off, but not us. We're dedicated to the cause, and we'll have all your wrap-up here on Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
So you can enjoy your holiday with us. Well, you can wrap up the end of your workday holiday with us right here.
Which means recovering from your hangover.
Which I'm sure also be doing. Based off last night with the West Virginia Mountaineers, I had a lot more faith in them than I have in Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
So
it could be a long day on Monday for Jeremy.
Maybe a little bit.
It is the third hour of the program here on ESPN Asheville. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You can see us everywhere live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. The third hour of the program every day kicks off with the daily draft. And today's daily draft, Jeremy and I will be drafting the best games of Week 1 in college football.
This is if we were choosing a place to go actually purchase tickets, where would we go? Or what is going to be on our television in its specific time slot this weekend?
Okay. All right. So first pick.
That goes to you.
That goes to me. All right. Well, call me Mr. Homer, but my first pick is going to be Kidd Brewer Stadium. Weren't expecting that, were you?
I wasn't.
Appalachian State and UNC. I get there are questions about Josh Downs. There are questions about Tony Grimes, whether or not they're going to play in the game. They're being evaluated day to day, and we'll find out at noon tomorrow, or a little shortly before noon tomorrow, whether or not they're going to play. But I don't know that I really care.
I have a funny feeling that neither of them are going to play.
I think either way, if they do play, if they don't play, this is going to be a phenomenal game. This is the biggest game ever in Kidd Brewer Stadium.
I would agree with that.
Boone has never seen a team like North Carolina come into their stadium, and they are going to be amped up. The Appalachian State football crowd is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. That's a great place to watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a funny feeling that the live baiting is going to start yesterday.
Lots of mountain jugs. Lots of mountain jugs out there in that parking lot.
Yep.
And they're going to be amped up. The team's going to be amped up to make a statement against the North Carolina Tar Heels. They have all the confidence in the world. They've already beaten North Carolina in the last couple of years when they did it at Keenan Stadium year before last. And I think this is going to be a very high-scoring affair. Because I'll be honest with you, I did not see vast improvement in Week 1 of the North Carolina defense. That's what I was keyed in on, was to see how the defense looked last week against Florida A&M. And I just didn't see it.
There were certainly things that should be a little unsettling.
Mm-hmm. The fact that you allowed Florida A&M, you didn't get as much pressure on the quarterback as I thought you were going to with that team playing with 7 offensive linemen, period, on the team. And I know it was, it was Week 1. There may be some jitters, but I think this could be a very high-scoring affair. I think this could be shades of the ACC game last year with Pitt. You remember how back and forth that was, and it came down to the last drive, and it came down to a heave? It could very well happen in this game.
That is not how I see this.
Really?
Not even a little bit. I mean, I'll be honest with you. 56.5 feels kind of high to me. I'm not giving an over-under on this game, but if I was, I would be taking the under.
Mm-hmm.
Appalachian State's not going to try to air it out with you. That's just not how I see this game going.
No, especially if there's no Josh Downs. This is going to be a run-it-down-your-throat kind of a game.
Yeah, and that would be – if I was a Carolina fan, that would be my fear.
Appalachian has 3 really good running backs, and Carolina has 5. So I see this could be a big back-and-forth battle.
Well –
and the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable.
You took my number 1.
Oh.
Which I'm not a fan of. There are a lot of great choices still left, And my first one is going to be one that pains me because I think it's the closest game between two really good schools.
Okay.
It's Utah, Florida.
Mm-hmm. That was my number 2.
Ben Hill Griffin is going to be electric because Dan Mullen just really set everything on fire on his way out of there. And that's a place where they were really over it with him. That's why he got fired in the middle of the year. And now you've got Billy Napier who, no, he's not Mr. Johnny Rah-Rah. But he is a coach that you can believe in. And you can look at the track record. You can look at the talent that's still on the team. And that gives you enough hope. And then I look at Utah. That's just a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team nobody talks about. And they're 7th in the country for a reason. Rising is one of those quarterbacks that you just look at and go, you don't do anything that is – you're not an NFL prospect by any stretch, but good gracious, you were a good college quarterback. And I think that is going to be phenomenal.
So he's the Stetson Bennett of the West Coast.
No, good Lord, no. No, he's more than 5'4". No, he's a – I mean, if I'm even trying to come up with a good comp. He's got a – this is going to be weird because I bash this guy regularly. He's got a little Baker Mayfield in him. He's not overly athletic, but he can run. And before you say, well, he runs a lot. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. He's not real fast. Wait till he goes to the combine. When you see the number he runs, you'll go, wow. That makes it even more impressive that you were as nimble as you were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to do this, if for nothing else, just to hurt you.
Man.
My number 2 is going to be Oregon, Georgia.
Man.
And first of all, if I got the ticket to go, I'm in the Benz Dome, which is the best stadium in all of sports in this country.
Yes.
And I do see a path that game stays close. There is another one between high-level programs that I see no shot of it staying close.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a possibility that Oregon could come out here, surprise me. I mean, Dan Lanning is going to know where all the bodies are buried at Georgia.
Yes.
This was defensive coordinator of the Georgia Bulldogs last year when they won the national title.
Yep.
So if there's anybody that knows how to defend Stetson Bennett, now you don't have James Cook, you don't have Zamir White, you don't have George Pickens. You're missing a lot. I know you're poo-pooing that. Like, oh, it's just the next man up.
Next man up.
It's a lot. That is a lot of guys to lose. And then play in a big stadium, under the bright lights, national game. You're really the only game in that window.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's another one that's good too, but it's not going to have the national cachet that one will.
Right.
So my second pick is Oregon, Georgia.
Man. And, of course, that was going to be my next pick because, let's face it, I don't feel like there's going to be too many Oregon Duck fans in the stadium.
No.
You're having it in Atlanta, and this is the first chance Dogs Nation has got a chance to, commune with each other in mass quantities since the national championship. It's going to be a big old party. And, yeah, great pick. Great pick by you. As usual, Flostradamus. Now, the other game that you alluded to that was between two highly ranked teams that's not going to be as close, that's my pick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Notre Dame, Ohio State. Look, I hate Ohio State. All right? Ohio State fans are annoying as hell. But if you came to me and said, hey, Tank, I got some tickets. Would you like to go to the Ohio State game? In 100%. Because not only is that a great place to see a ball game, one of the most historic stadiums in all of sports, but you're telling me I get to go and be there when the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the snot out of a top 5 team on week 1 with all the hype surrounding that program, with Ryan Day and C.J. Stroud and all the receivers that they have? Absolutely. Put me in the middle of that atmosphere.
Now, you're cheaper than dirt.
Yes.
So I feel like you are probably not the best person to ask this question. What do you think the get-in price in that stadium is? And there are plenty of seats available that are through the secondary ticket market.
$172.
You didn't even start it with the right number. $245.
Okay.
That's worst seat in the house.
Yeah, that's out.
You want in the lower
I'll watch
bowl,
it on
you're
my television.
$800 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be very loud because they're on a tour.
Yes.
All right, Ohio State is out to prove that Michigan thing last year, that was cute. We were down for a minute, and we weren't even really down. We just lost to an Oregon team that we shouldn't. We got smoked by Michigan. That not happening. That day has sailed. Hope you enjoyed your shots while you got them. And that's the reason I didn't take it, is I could very easily see that game being completely over by halftime.
And it could be.
I could see that being 31-3 at halftime.
But you also threw the little caveat in there of the atmosphere. And to me, the atmosphere sells it.
Yeah, I mean, I get the pick. It's just I was more than happy to allow you to take that one. And now I'm really curious where you're going with the next one. Because I have a couple low-key bangers that I don't think you're going to pick.
Well,
one that you might.
I'm going to take a break, think about it, and we'll come back. Continue the Daily Draft right after this on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge is slow. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is stop and go between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again,
first set of bangers of the year. What better way?
stop and go between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road north and southbound near Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Hendersonville Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Mills Gap Road delays. Brevard Road northbound beginning in Avery Creek and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
A Bojangles family meal has more fixins to choose from.
Coleslaw.
Dirty rice.
Mac and cheese. Those scratch-made biscuits.
More choices of handcrafted fixins for everyone. You won't find that in a bucket or a bundle. It's Bo time.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your
parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Just want to let that college football bed just kind of breathe for a little bit.
If you're curious of how last night went, just understand, about the time we turned the cameras on, I completely missed my face with a beverage.
That West Virginia loss is really doing a number on you, man.
I'm not going to lie. Not only did I took an L last night, and the vast majority of today has also been an L.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's a tough life, but somebody's got to live it.
Highly unfortunate. All right, we are in the middle of the daily draft. Jeremy and I are drafting the best games that we would want to go to in week 1 of the college football season. I started out with the number 1 pick. To me, it's UNC and App. Not only because, Appalachian State, North Carolina, it's going to be a raucous crowd at Kid Brewer Stadium, which is a beautiful place to watch a football game. I think it's going to be a really good back-and-forth battle. Much closer than Tar Heel fans want you to believe. And then I went Notre Dame, Ohio State, because the Horseshoe is going to be unbelievably ruckus. Jeremy went with Utah, Florida. The Swamp is going to be it's going to be very exciting as well. And then you took Oregon and Georgia just to piss me off, which
I did. And it worked.
It did. It did. My next pick, when you got 2 top 25 teams facing off, that's a seller right there. But then you also have the atmosphere that can be found at Razorback Stadium. And Arkansas and Cincinnati, while I don't think that this is going to be the banger of a game that Cincinnati fans probably think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a slugfest.
I think Arkansas will impose their will, as any good team from the SEC should, on the Cincinnati Bearcats.
I really feel like Cincinnati's going to miss Sauce and Kobe Bryant very quickly.
No doubt.
Jaden Hazelwood, the kid from Toledo whose name I can't remember, he started at Georgia. He was I think he was a 4-star recruit. So, I mean, this offense is not just, hey, look, we have KJ Jefferson who's gigantic and he can run right at you. No. Traylon Burks, we'll miss Traylon.
Mm-hmm.
We have better weapons now than we did a year ago.
Yep. Arkansas will probably win and win big against Cincinnati, but Razorback Stadium, it's a special place to see a football game. It's on my bucket list of stadiums to visit on a game day. And that's where I would be headed next.
I wanted that one. I really wanted that one. But you left me too that I'm very happy to add to my list. 2 blue blood programs that have fallen on slightly harder times, and I get to watch it in the Superdome. And it's a Sunday night game. I'm taking Florida State and LSU.
Okay.
There is a possibility that this game stays closer than I think. To me, there are 3 ranges of outcomes. LSU just demolishes Florida State, and this is a 45-17 game. Or it's a defensive back and forth, lower scoring than you would think, and it ends up 17-10. Or Florida State's better than I think. They run it right down LSU's throat, and all of the defensive things that people have pointed out to me are more tangible than I think. And that is the only way Florida State has a chance of winning this.
Okay.
But either way, there's going to be a happy fan base. And it's going to be an electric fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And I would wager that this crowd is going to be split about 50-50. It's one of the only games on the schedule that I'm looking at it going, this is a true neutral site. I get that it's in New Orleans. I'm well aware of that. You do not get when just a modicum of hope is given to Florida State fans. They travel in droves.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been a lot of deep-pocketed Florida State fans that have been looking for a reason to get out of Tallahassee for 4 years. And I could easily see a path that this is 50-50.
All right, LSU, FSU. It's your third choice.
I feel like anybody that knows me knows what my next selection is going to be. It's NC State ECU.
Oh,
I'll go to Greenville. I'll have the domestic light brewskis with the student body. I'll have a good old time because that place will be insane as well. You got to understand, ECU's had this circled on their calendar for 2 solid years. Because when Mike Houston took over, it was, all right, we have a serious talent deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
It was Holt Nailers and not much else. That's not really the case anymore. There are players on this team. I understand that people want to make this out like this is going to be an NC State boat race. I don't buy it. And I got news for you. If Vegas thought it was, that number would be way higher than 11.5.
Mm-hmm. That's a good choice.
Plus, that is the one place that I could see me 17 domestic lights deep on top of a goalpost.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I've always wanted to. So,
really?
Just, woo! I know you're not supposed to do that now because it's not safe.
Right. You're going to cost the school money.
They got plenty of it. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. All right, so now, see, this is where it gets very interesting. Because now we've run through all of the games that I would even think about.
Oh, I've got a couple.
attending.
I've got a couple more that.
Really?
Oh, no doubt.
You're going super deep here because I look at most of the other games on the schedule and go, there are some good teams that I'd like to see, but their week 1 opponent is just nobody. So like Texas A&M, Michigan, like. I don't expect anything out of Colorado State this year, so I don't know. I mean, they'd be fun places to go watch games, but I don't know if the competition's going to be any good. If I'm looking for a game that I'm going to have to buy a $8 beer and a $7 hot dog, I want a competitive game. And I think there are only a couple of those options left.
Oh, I got a couple low-key bangers that I'll be giving out picks for here in about 23 minutes.
Well, one of them you've already given out, one of the bangers, and that's the game that I'm pretty interested in. I've never been to San Antonio before.
Oh, no.
But UTSA hosting number 24 Houston. Of all of the games this week, I look at that one and go, that could be the only upset that we have this week.
Oh, it will not be the only upset.
I mean,
I do believe it will be an upset.
Of an unranked team beating a ranked team.
Week 1, if you take the last 10 years, no less than 2 top 25 teams have been beaten by unranked teams in 8 of the last 10 years in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
The chances of that being the only one are very slim. And there are several to me that are on upset alert. I would look at Utah. Obviously, that's a game we've talked about a lot. Scrolling through the list here. Okay. Maybe it would take some aggressive NC State.
Well, NC State, yeah. I don't think that's going to happen either. Could very well be a very competitive game, but I don't see that.
I'm really afraid that there could be 3 poo in my punch bowl days out of 4. West Virginia last night, East Carolina tomorrow, and Florida State on Sunday. Oh, I will not be a pleasant human to be around.
My
on
book,
Monday.
you got about an 85% chance of that happening.
I will not be a fun person to be around on Monday.
Let's see. My final game here that I would attend in week 1 of the college football season. You know what? I'm going to go with Clemson, Georgia Tech on Monday.
That one was on my list.
I've never been to the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Never been there.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And I would really like the opportunity to go to Atlanta and watch all 7 Georgia Tech fans cry in their beers. Because
There will
they'll
be
be
more.
doing that.
There will be more Georgia Tech fans than you think.
I was going to say, they will be doing that 5 minutes into the game.
There is no game, and I am the gambler. All right, it's in our open. I am the degenerate gambler that we're referring to. This is one of the most bet games of the weekend, and a lot of it is on the Georgia Tech side, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why.
I can't either.
I mean, a lot of big money drops have come in on Georgia Tech, and I cannot for the life of me understand why.
I mean, you don't have near as many future NFL first-round draft picks on this defense as Georgia did last year, but you got 5?
You have 3 that will be first-round picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt, almost no shot it doesn't happen, short of somebody getting hurt.
Brian Brees, Miles Murphy,
Trenton Simpson. That's 3 almost no doubt first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it, but formidable selection by you.
Thank you.
All right, you took one I didn't expect you to. I didn't think that
What's
UT
the
San
UTSA?
Antonio was. I didn't think that was coming out of your mouth. All right, this is a late game, West Coast game, one that I'm just telling you, this will be one of the better games of the weekend, I think. Boise State, Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people see that and see Boise State's a 2.5-point dog, and they think that is the easiest game to bet all weekend, and they couldn't be more wrong if they tried. I'm not telling you Oregon State's great, but that will be a competitive game, and it's in a late window where, I mean, you're competing with Western Kentucky and Hawaii, Kent State and Washington.
Ooh.
I'm a fan of Boise State.
Okay.
I'm a fan of Boise State, Oregon State. I think that will be a nice nightcap.
Can you go deeper and give us a UDFA selection?
Oh, of a low-key game? This would be where would I most want to watch a game that is happening this weekend? Yeah, I can. SMU North Texas. That's what nobody will talk about that. I guarantee you we will be the only show you hear that will give a pick on that game. And that one is going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ole Miss is always a winner, but
True.
I don't even remember who they're playing.
I mean, if you're looking for a place where, you're going
Troy.
to be great atmosphere, everybody's into the game, and the fans are probably going to be just insufferable walking out of there. To me, there's almost no better place, aside from Ohio State. We already talked about that one. But there's no better place to be in America than Columbia, South Carolina. After the Gamecocks just road race the Georgia State Panthers. It's going to happen. It happens every year. You see a team that their fans are just over the moon about what they're going to see this year, and then week 1, they open up with some cupcake, and they beat them 56-10, and there it goes, off the ledge.
Yep, that's not exactly how I see that game going, and you'll find out how I see it going in 22 minutes.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some of that summertime humidity returning into the holiday weekend with some showers taking over the forecast late this weekend and early next week. And just about every day next week looks like we're covered up with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing on radar tonight, 65 degrees, but showers creep back into the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday for Asheville. High temps in the 70s and 80s for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge is slow. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is stop and go between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound is slow east of Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road due to an accident. Future 26 eastbound delays between Riverside Drive and 240. 40 westbound, stop and go between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road north and southbound near Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Hendersonville Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Mills Gap Road delays. Brevard Road northbound beginning in Avery Creek and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning, the most trusted and reviewed cleaning company in town. Take advantage of their back-to-school sale going on now. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's Tuscola at Irwin. The non-conference season continues for both teams as Tuscola looks to get revenge for last year's loss to the Warriors. The Mountaineers have started the season 2-0. Irwin got a big win over Mountain Heritage last week. Can they keep the momentum rolling? We get things started at 6 o'clock with Sports Tank Friday. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 and the kickoff at 7. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
That important message of the day: don't do crimes. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. And was it yesterday, Jeremy, that you were saying yeah, it was yesterday. You were saying I looked like somebody who would be taken in by a scam artist.
Correct.
He told me I could be a princess. That's all I'm saying. The Nigerian prince only got some of my
He has millions of dollars that I need to send him $43 to unlock. It makes perfect sense.
It does. It does. And I'm cheap, and that's a great investment. That's a great return on your investment. This, not so much. There was a family in Florida who got taken in by a scammer. These people were looking for a house to rent. They were scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, which I don't feel like is the right place for you to go looking for a place to rent.
Correct.
But they found one. They found one in Valrico, Florida. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-year lease. I don't know anything about the housing market in Valrico, but if you base this anything, if it's anywhere in the ballpark of Asheville prices, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-year lease, utilities, cable, Wi-Fi, water, all the landscaping, all of it, all included in your monthly price. What would you expect to spend on that?
Oh, everything's included. 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Mm-hmm.
$2,500.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they thought they were getting a hell of a deal because the rent on this place was only $1,350 a month. And so they reached out to the guy who was putting the place up for rent, supposedly. His name was Mr. Winston Lucky. Feel like that should be your first clue.
Absolutely.
That's not a real person. There is no one named Winston Lucky. I mean, I don't know that to be true.
I'm sure there's somebody somewhere.
Maybe there is a guy. But it wasn't this guy. The woman says that first they talked through text and Facebook Messenger, and then he gave me his phone number, and I was having a conversation with the man. He sent me the lease. It was signed via email, while the security deposit and the first month's rent were sent via Zelle. Or is it Zelly?
Zelle.
Okay, Zelle. To 2 different email addresses each time before they were to move on August the 19th. They got there, and it wasn't for rent. They got there were people living there. And then that's when they found out that they had just given all of that money to some dude on Facebook named Winston Lucky. These people were moving from New York to Florida, packed up all their crap, went all the way to Florida, and found out that this house is not for rent.
Don't do that. Call a realtor. That is the reason we have realtors.
Mm-hmm. And on top of paying all those deposits and stuff, the guy was also trying to get them to send him an extra $200 to send somebody to fix the air conditioner. That was after they found out that they got there and found out, and the guy still sent a message like, "Hey, I need $200 to fix the air conditioner." They were like, "We're here.
We're in the driveway. We're actually talking to the homeowner as we speak."
Exactly.
And the air conditioning seems to be working just fine.
Yeah. Hopefully this guy will be brought to justice, but who knows?
My story comes from Milan. It was in an airport. A man comes through in a wheelchair, obviously trying to do all the things to make the journey through the airport as comfortable as possible. Only one problem. There was a drug-sniffing dog that seemed to be very uncomfortable around this person. So they checked his luggage. Didn't find anything in the luggage. Dog is still very jumpy around this person. Dog starts to bark at the wheelchair with which he is sitting. So they start poking around the wheelchair, at which time they found nearly 30 pounds of cocaine in the wheelchair. Then the man, obviously knowing he was caught, did what you would do if you were toddling around in the airport in a wheelchair with a lot of drugs. He jumped up and ran away from them, and he was tackled by authorities and was promptly taken to jail. Don't do that. Just, okay, like, don't move heavy amounts of narcotics, first of all. Just don't do that at all. Anything that has drugs in it, just no. We all saw the messages when we were kids. Just say no. But even if you don't imitate a handicapped person, you're just a jerk.
And he could have got away with it, too.
If it wasn't for those meddling kids?
Exactly.
If it wasn't for that dog. That dog knew something was up real fast.
Mm-hmm. 30 pounds, that's not a little bit.
No, it is not. The picture that the police in Milan put out, I don't actually know how you could fit that much into a motorized wheelchair.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking is, like, it
was in the upholstery. It was in everything.
Oh, okay. So it was sewn into the fabric.
It was in every bit of this thing.
I was going to say, what was this, like a rascal that had like a little, like a little carrier on the back of it?
No, it was sewn into it.
Wow.
This was just a regular motorized wheelchair. 30 pounds.
The lengths that they will go to do crimes. It's baffling. It is the Sportsocracy, and yes, you can be Beer City's best fantasy football player. All you got to do is, beat everybody else that's in the contest, and hopefully you can beat Jeremy as well to take home
And
belt.
you. I mean, you're in it as well.
Well, I mean, you're going to beat me. I don't have any thoughts about that. But you, on the other hand, you got a chance to win the belt, and Jeremy's already said if he wins this thing, he's not giving up the belt.
No, I'm not. I will give up the prize pack. Obviously, I'm not.
I will not let you keep the prize
Correct.
pack.
Yeah, I will not be doing that. But if I win the belt, I will keep the belt, and I will be insufferable.
We got a custom wrestling-style championship belt that's being made up as we speak with the Sportsocracy logo. All of our wonderful sponsors, eXp Realty, Ingles, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Am I leaving anybody out?
Nope. That's the 3 on the belt.
All right,
and there's 2 lovely golden goats on the outside with the year.
Yeah, so Tom Brady's on it as well. It's all great.
Don't you talk about my belt that way.
The belt's up for grabs, plus a prize pack that is currently worth over $1,000. We'll be adding to that throughout the NFL season. Yes, this is NFL fantasy football, and all you got to do is make a $20 donation to charity. We're going to hand that over to Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. It's an organization that last year helped over 1,350 kids around our area have a very happy Christmas by giving their cash-strapped families access to toys.
We will be giving away some entries next week, thanks to the Dude Takes podcast, and we matched their donation of entries. We have a ton of people in this. Best Ball League start drafting this weekend. For those that ask or that have asked this, why are the drafts pushing so deep? You want to do that with best ball because you don't do anything else with your roster. So it's deeper. You want to know who gets hurt, and you want to go as late as humanly possible. So you have until this day next week. The cutoff is next Friday. You have to be in to get into the contest.
Yes. The link is in the description of the video and each of the videos that have been posted up for the last couple of weeks on YouTube, thesportsocracy.com. Click on that YouTube link. Follow the link in the description. You can make your donation there. We can also find the link on any of our social medias at The Sportsocracy.
So I have a question to see if something surprises you, because I was a little surprised by this.
Okay.
Do you realize that Alabama is the 3rd biggest favorite to win a national title since 2001?
Really?
Since 2001. There have only been 2 with lower odds than they have. It was USC in 2001. They were plus 160. Alabama was plus 175 in 2018. They are plus 180.
Wow.
That surprised me. Because I don't really feel like there is a tremendous amount of difference between Alabama and Ohio State. There's a difference, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they're on a collision course for each other.
I would agree. They're on a collision course for each other, but still, it's that whole Nick Saban thing. After Nick Saban loses, do you really expect him to lose again? I know we said the same thing last year about the national championship game. After they had lost the Texas A&M game and they had played some games pretty close with teams that you didn't expect. That Florida game was close. LSU was a close one as well. They lost to Texas A&M, and we had that narrative. And sometimes narratives are just meant to be broken. Will this be the year that Ohio State can take home an Natty? Maybe. They're talented enough to do so. My question is about their defense. See, I look at Alabama and I go, I mean, they've got stars on both sides of the ball, and they are going to be just hell on wheels to play. Ohio State can beat the snot out of you offensively.
I'm not as worried about their defense as everybody else is.
Yeah, well, it was a problem last year, and it could be a problem again this year.
And I get that. I do get that. You also had co-defensive coordinators last year. You went and got the best defensive coordinator in the country from last year. One assistant of the year. I'm just not that worried about it. I mean, they've had the highest-ranked defensive recruit 3 of the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all still on this team. The defensive line is going to be insane. I know they don't have the one player that you point at like Will Anderson at Alabama that just go, oh, that guy's unblockable. No, they have 7 of those. Again, not to the same level, but 7 just tremendous defensive linemen. There's a little fear in the back half, but I'm just not that worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was awestruck when I saw that. This is also only the 3rd time in the last 20 years that you've had 3 or less single-digit odds. Did I say?
Yeah.
I feel like I said that in a weird way.
No.
Teams that are less than 10-1 to win the national title. There's only 3 of those.
Mm-hmm. That's how high the top tier is right now in college football.
And this is why you have a playoff coming. One of a slew of reasons. Obviously, money is a big one, but this is I feel like it's 3 and everybody else.
You know what else we got coming?
It's time for bangers.
It's time for bangers here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we return, Jeremy will have your best picks of the weekend, way that you can make money. And don't forget, you can always take your picks to betus.com, use the promo code Sportsocracy, and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and exit 3. 26 westbound slows west of Airport Road to approaching Bavard Road. 26 eastbound is crawling between I-40 to just east of Bavard Road. 40 westbound crawling between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, heavy delays. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Bavard Road northbound is slow approaching Clayton Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
It's bow time. You just had a fluffy, buttery Bojangles biscuit, and now you're doing it again? Yeah, your taste buds are working just fine. Around here, that's not deja vu, it's deja tu. Get 2 Country Ham biscuits for just $4. It's bow time.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25 day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at silveradoswnc.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at the Outlaw.
First set of bangers of the year. What better way to pay homage than by using the greatest band of the 20th century, Greene, the original set of bangers. It's been a while. Where should we begin? Feels like forever. We're going back to an old friend. The Liberty Flames are a 3.5-point favorite at Southern Miss, and that's ridiculous. Southern Miss couldn't play a tree in a child's play. They're horrible. And even though Liberty doesn't have Malik Willis anymore, they do have Charlie Brewer. High-level veteran quarterback, enough to cover the number. Flames minus 3.5. Within my heart are memories of perfect love that you gave to me. Oh, I remember. The Arkansas Razorbacks are a 6.5-point favorite against the Cincinnati Bearcats, and it makes no sense. Arkansas was a year ahead of schedule. Cincinnati's rebuilding with two quarterbacks whose name I can't even remember. Easy. Hog Pig Suey minus 6.5. Next, Oregon State's a 2.5-point favorite against Boise State. Boise State is much better in name than they are in practice. Their offensive line couldn't block traffic with 40 road coats. Give me the Beavers minus 2.5. Appalachian State's a 1.5-point favorite against North Carolina. Potentially no Josh Downs, potentially no Tony Grimes. That's enough for me. Mountaineers let me down last night. They're not letting me down tomorrow. App State minus 1.5. San Diego State is a 6-point favorite against Arizona. Let me say that again. Arizona is a 6-point dog against a living, breathing, conscious team, and that makes no sense. San Diego State minus 6.5. We've seen our share of ups and downs. Oh, how quickly life can turn around in an instant. Georgia Bulldogs, you were my last loss of the college football season last year. You're not getting me again. 17-point favorite against Oregon. That's not enough. No Mario Cristobal. They may look the same, but this is not Oregon that you're used to. Georgia minus 17. Ohio State, also a 17-point favorite against Notre Dame. Notre Dame is overrated. We all know it. The Vegas poll has them at 19, Ohio State at 2. That's way more than a 17-point spread. Buckeyes minus 17. Hardest game of the week to pick. Utah, 3-point favorite going into Ben Griffin Stadium to take on the Gators. I can't figure Florida out. I have to pick this game. I believe in Utah. I don't believe in Florida any more than I believe in gas station sushi. Give me the Utes minus 3. If you've watched this segment, you got to be thinking, but Jeremy, where are the dogs? It feels so good to reunite within yourself and within your mind. Let's find peace there. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. The Temple Owls are a 9.5-point dog at Duke. Duke should be a 9.5-point favorite against middle school teams. Owls plus 9.5. North Texas, 11-point dog against SMU. They're at home. They're every bit as good a team. That's too many points. North Texas plus 11. Georgia State's a 12.5-point dog at South Carolina. I'm not telling you they're going to win. I'm just telling you South Carolina might be the most overrated team in the country. Give me Georgia State plus 12.5. And finally, I've been teasing it all off season long. The Fighting Mike Houstons of East Carolina are an 11-point dog at home against NC State. They cover the 11.5. They win outright. Go Pirates!
Promo code Sportsocracy. Get that 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500.
Of course we had to use Greene. That's the original bangers. That's the name of the segment. Oh, so excited for this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend's going to be phenomenal. And as the college football season kicks off, it just reminds me of a weird time. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go about this college football season, because it's going to be different than any other football season in my adult life. Because I have changed my habits so much with the PhD weight loss program that, it's not just sitting around smashing beers and eating the worst possible food I can find. I make healthier choices with my life now because look at all the hard work that I have done. Since being on PhD weight loss, I have dropped 90 pounds. I am a shell of my former self, and frankly, I don't ever want to go back to that old me.
I did not have to lose copious amounts of weight. I just had to change the way I thought about food. I had made lazy decisions, which had led to me getting a little pudgy. It was leading to bad sleep habits and all kinds of health problems. Now, after just over half a year on the PhD program, I'm back to my high school weight. I'm feeling fantastic, and it's all thanks to the plan and program of PhD Weight Loss.
I no longer fall into the category of morbidly obese, and I feel like at 40 years old, I have a new lease on life now. You want to feel that way? Go to myphdweightloss.com. Find out how Dr. Ashley Lucas and the gang can help you get rid of your weight problem for good. PhD Weight Loss is, by the way, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. We will be back here with you on Labor Day, on Monday, to recap everything from Week 1. Follow the banger advice from Jeremy, and you might be a little bit richer this weekend.
I hope it's a profitable weekend for all of you. I'll be throwing out more banger picks on Twitter over the weekend.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some of that summertime humidity returning into the holiday weekend with some showers taking over the forecast late this weekend and early next week. And just about every day next week looks like we're covered up with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing on radar tonight, 65 degrees, but showers creep back into the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday for Asheville. High temps in the 70s and 80s for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slows 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the French Broad River. Again, 26 westbound slows west of Brevard Road to I-40. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and Brevard Road. And again, 26 eastbound delays between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and Georges Branch Road. Near Bent Creek, Brevard Road southbound stop and go, continuing to Clayton Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, stop and go. Hendersonville Road, southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. I'm Lemon Phil with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.